Welcome back, G.
Super wheel spin. What else we have? Wheel spin. That's crazy. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new video of the channel. Welcome to the Lucid Air Sapphire. It's actually finally here. So this is it. Obviously I've driven this the last time in one of the previous videos because it was also part of the Rivals, but now we actually have it and I get to drive it and see what it's like. Also, someone told me about the little polar bear that's on the side, or whatever, the little bear, sorry, not polar bear, but the little bear that's on the side. It's actually from the I guess the symbol or the logo for California, which I'm guessing this is where this car is being produced. But we actually finally have the Lucid Air here. I really like it. I really like it. You can never tell because I always shit on Tesla all the time, but I don't shit on Tesla because they're electric. I shit on Tesla because they're boring, right? That's it. Yes, apart from their performance, Teslas are very boring design-wise. I think they just don't work well at all. The only one that actually looks proportionate and normal is the Model S, and that came out first out of the newer lineup of cars. Obviously, they have the old Tesla. This is quick. This is actually quite quick. Well, it hits 200 miles an hour like it's nobody's business anyway. But this is completely stock. I think it has 1,200 horsepower. I saw it when I changed to it, but I didn't actually pay attention. Yeah, 1,200 horsepower. And 1,950 newton meters of torque. It's not even that heavy. I mean, it is heavy. It's 2.4 tons, but it's not really that heavy. There's heavier cars than this, but it's a very capable car. Like I said, we've driven this obviously in the Rivals event, and it's actually quite nice to drive. And it was completely stock. I kind of want to do stuff to it and change some things around and see what's available for it, and obviously build it up. So if you want to watch me drive this thing stock, go watch the event that I did the Rivals on with it. It was actually quite good. Yeah, I think I got distracted as well. The Roadster, I think, is what I was talking about. The Tesla Roadster. That's interesting, but again, that's kind of just a basic, just a Lotus that's been kind of stripped out and changed up, and then it turned into a Tesla. I don't know. They did all that stuff. Then they ended up trying to mass-produce cars with, you know, the Model S, and then the rest of the lineup came along. But I think the best-looking one is still the Model S. Even the facelifted one or whatever, it's the most proportionate-looking car. Everything else in the line, the Model Y is the most disgusting one out of the lot because it looks like a Model 3 that has been pinched by the roof and lifted, and it's just as boring inside. Model 3 is just no. It's kind of like they took a Model S and squashed it. Like, it's not even that, right? It's not even the exterior that's the worst part. It's the interior. There's like no design features at all inside. You get inside of this, and it actually looks interesting. You have a line that goes all the way around. It's like it reminds me of a normal car. You have buttons on the steering wheel that do things. You have different controls everywhere that do things. It's an interesting place. Let's go to Forza Vista actually, because it looks better like that. You know, just a fat monitor sitting in the middle, or the fat iPad that sits in the middle that controls everything and even shows you your speed and all of that. I think there's some Teslas that actually have two screens, where one of them is now up at the top. But if you get inside of this, you'd think, oh, I'm still in a car, right? Like, it still has the buttons, it still has things that make it look like a car. Has different materials, has suede, it has leather. It just is a much better looking car. And again, this is the first time I'm actually seeing one of these in game or close up like this. Obviously I've seen one of these things basically just drive before, but I've never seen this thing in person or anything like that, just in videos and driving around and being very quick for what it is. But other than that, I haven't seen any sort of close-up like this. I think they could have used a slightly better color combo here, where we'd have slightly brighter or lifted interior. But, again, it's different. There's nice sports seats at the front, there's a big bench on the back. It still is a car, right? You are driving a car. I don't want to drive a living room around, you know, with a big TV. That bootlet is sick. Wait, what? That probably... Is that the best... What the hell? That is so sick. So, in car reviews, if you ever watch them, Some people are saying like the opening of the boot is a little odd for some cars just because of the way it opens, and obviously it leaves the sides in because that's where the lights are. But in this, you actually have lights at the very bottom as well, which I'm guessing is why this is allowed to lift up fully with the top light bar. That is actually so sick. So as a regulation for people that didn't know, you actually have to have lights, working lights. I don't think these are reflectors then, if you're allowed to do that. But you actually have to have working lights, like brake lights or whatever, at somewhere on the car's rear after the boot lid's lifted. And this is sick. This is probably the best opening I've ever seen. Why am I talking about a boot in Forza? I don't know. I'm just looking at the design of this thing. It looks very, very interesting to me. So, what can we change on it? Not much, unfortunately. Not much. I expected this to have like a Rimac engine in it or something like that, just to have a little bit more fun with this thing, but I guess not. Can we squeeze out some sort of weight reduction? We can do some weight reduction on this thing. Wait a second, boys. Wait a second. If we do weight reduction and race tires on it, it could already be a very good car. I want to race this thing. I feel like this could be a really good car to race with. I mean, it's really high in S1 right now, but like if we change a bunch of parts on this thing, what about wheels? Are wheels gonna be lighter? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, let's put some aftermarket wheels on this thing. See what's available. We'll go to the specialist wheels. Some ADV ones would actually look kind of like a banger on this thing. I mean, again, I'm gonna take this thing out racing, so I don't think ADVs would be a sick idea. I mean, except for these ones. These are very race-esque, aren't they? And I save 17 kilos. I actually like these wheels a lot. I've used them on different cars before. I can only change the size of the wheel on the front. I'm guessing it's 20s and 21s, and I don't think I'm able to change the 21 on the rear to anything else. It's probably why it only allows me to change the front. I'll put air on it as well, because it's jokes. I actually don't really want to change the rear. The rear looks good. I think the wing just makes it look so much uglier. Okay. I'm just basically upgrading this thing so we can actually try and race it. Suspension. Oh, we can put drift suspension. Oh, maybe we shouldn't race it. I mean, we can't bring it to the top of S2 if you do that. But if you do this, we can drift it. So I think we're going to slide this thing. I think I'm going to end up sliding this thing instead. Like I said, I kind of ideally wanted to race this thing, but we can't bring it to the top of a class at all. To the top of S1, we can't really do anything to bring it to the top of S1. Because even now, just by doing weight reduction, it completely jumps up the class of the car. All the way into S2. If we get rid of weight reduction, it's still way too heavy to keep in S2, man. There's so many in S1. There's so many S1 cars that are really, really good in this game. There's no point. So I think maybe drifting is probably the way to go here. Maybe get rid of tire width then. I don't really need 295s. We'll do 295s rear. Was it 265s in the front? Yeah, I think that's fine. I think I should do it. What other color schemes are on this thing? I want to mess around with that. I want to see what's available. Wait, did I change my weight reduction back? Oh no, that's fine. I was like, I thought I changed it back to what it was before. Wait, what am I doing? Paint car. I've only ever seen it in this car. In this color. Okay, I think we need to get this thing into a slightly different color. Nothing really bright like this though, but I definitely want a different color on this thing. I was thinking something like one of the Hot Wheels colors, but nah. I think dark colors suit this thing. Like the blue is nice. I love like this like teal color or whatever it is. This is like a really dark like teal color. I think it looks really good. I've used it on different cars before. The maroon like red color, the wine color looks very good as well. What about a nice orange? Yeah, it actually doesn't look too bad. There's so many different colors on this thing. That looks really good. I really like this teal color. I really, really do. I don't want to go brighter because it just looks too But the darker one, I think it looks good. I feel like if we change this, yeah, I was gonna say it's massive, isn't it? It's gonna change the entire thing because it's like a clamshell bonnet. Mirrors are already carbon fiber. This is already carbon fiber. Wheels are already like half carbon, which should look great. The brakes we can probably change. Since they were the same color as the car before, we could probably change them so they're the same color as the car now. Like that. What's that? 6-spot brakes at the front? I think so. Usually it shows it with, yeah, I think it is. With the, it has like places where the pistons are technically in the brakes, and obviously you have 3 on this side, 3 on the other side. It'd be 6-spot brakes, but yeah, okay. Let's give it a go like this. Let's see what it's like. I mean, I need to change my tune on it, but other than that, I want to see what it's like, because I feel like it looks good like this, in my opinion. Lord, I could even slam this thing. I'm kind of tempted to do this. Whoa. I forgot this thing is electric. It just shoots off instantly. Right, no tune. No tune out of this stuff like this? Wait a second, boys. This is sick. It's just as soon as it gets into a straight line, it just shoots forward. Wait, this is actually kind of nice as a drift car. I need to adjust the diff setup. 100%. This is also probably like, I'm gonna say like 60-40 torque distribution. I need to change a lot of the things in my tune for this thing. 70-30. But it's got very open diff. Tune has been changed. Much more rear bias this time around. And I made it so it should hopefully handle exactly how I wanted it to. So we'll see. Let's see if this is nice. So far, very clean. No hassle. Yeah. Absolutely tons of angle with it because it's all-wheel drive. And I'm able to save it. I feel like this would probably benefit with some drag tires though. So drag tires, if you don't know, are very, very good when you're trying to do any sort of like all-wheel drifting like this. Like I'm using snow tires because I always use snow tires, which is very, very good overall for stuff like this. Drag tires, if you're doing any sort of point drifting, 100% better, right? 1,000,000% better. If you're doing point drifting, especially with all-wheel drive cars like this. Even some specific rear-wheel drive cars. But usually, like I said, if you try to do any sort of point drifting stuff, pick drag tires. Overinflate them, pick drag tires. They're very, very good for stuff like this. The snow tires I just pick because they're good. They're very good for what they are. I have slightly more grip, and I usually put those on rear-wheel drive cars. I feel like they're just better overall to drive regular cars, right? Not point drift cars, but just cars that I want to be able to control and drive well and just enjoy sliding, you know? I don't think this is going to break any sort of records. It's not going to be OP for anything. You know what I'm going to do, actually? I'm going to change this thing fully to a rear-wheel drive. Well, there you go. It is now rear-wheel drive. I think the front end will still activate a little bit, but hopefully this should be as close to rear-wheel drive as possible. So I think the game's a little bugged. Even if you do select 100% of the power to go to the rear wheels, I feel like it'll still send a little bit of power to the front wheels, regardless. Jesus, man. This thing just picks up speed so quickly, it's a bit mad. Oh, it's actually so much more fun like this. Having it rear-wheel drive. I wish that you could like properly making a rear wheel drive instead of just me doing it with my diff setup. Oh, this is so much nicer. I much prefer this to the all-wheel drive drifting. Oh god. Again, it just picks up speed. If I don't have enough angle, I have to be careful with how much I'm like flooring it. It just picks up so much speed so quickly. It's a very, very sick car. I mean, it's not going to break any records or anything like that. And it's not going to be like OP or meta or whatever. I don't really care. I just want to enjoy a little bit of driving in a new car. Just chill out, go sideways, and something ridiculous. It's the torque, man. The torque is the thing that makes this thing so unbelievably sick. Hello. It's the torque that makes this thing so unbelievably sick. Where just anywhere you are, you plant your foot down, it just spins those rear wheels like mad. Just instant. So good. Oh, too fast. Okay. As long as I don't smack off a tree, I'm good. I hella inflated those rear tires as well, so I could get as much slip as possible. I'm still like turning into the corner. It's so weird the way the setup is on this car, right? Like I made it more rear biased, and when you're standing completely still and in a straight line, right? It's obvious that I made it rear biased because I could do like a standing burnout. Like literally, I brake and I floor it, and my front wheels don't move, but my rear ones spin up, right? But when I'm in a corner or when I'm turning and I accelerate, it just feels like the front ones still want to like pull me along a little bit. It's just a little awkward to drive like this. I don't know if I like it. As much as if I was to fully... Well, I definitely wouldn't like it as much as if I was to fully convert this thing to rear wheel drive, but you can't do it, unfortunately. Like I said earlier, so... It's a little annoying that I can't build this thing the exact way I want to, but... Listen, alright? Actually, not a bad car to slide. I can't believe I just did that entire run without my drift cam on. What's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? It's because I was doing a lot of racing, and I didn't even notice it either. Because I've drifted so long in this game with just a regular camera, like I didn't even notice that the drift cam wasn't even on. Oh, it's so jokes. I just noticed it now when I was like looking around the car. That the drift cam was not on. There you go. Well, at least with the drift cam, you'll be able to see that I'm not even countersteering as much as you think I am, due to the fact that this thing still thinks it's fully all-wheel drive, you know? See, like right here, I'm not countersteering until at the very, very end, and I'm still accelerating. And my diff right now is 100% to the rear. I mean, it's a fun car, man. It is genuinely a fun car. I didn't like overdo my toe either, just a little bit of toe, so you can still drive it on the road just fine. It doesn't actually just fly off or anything like that. I didn't turn this thing into something stupid and undrivable on the road. I made it the way I thought it was gonna be nice and clean. All right. I think one thing I'm gonna do, which is what I've noticed, is that this thing can get really, really low. So I have a map, obviously, that lowers your cars a little bit more, so I'm gonna go into that map. But first of all, I'm gonna go change my wheels or my tires, because you can get this thing to be even lower if you change the tires to something else. I'll show you which ones they are as well, just for people that want to know. If you would go ahead and you change to these rally tires here, even these ones as well, but they look a little ugly. But if you change to these ones, you can get even lower. So as you can see here, car lifts up, lower. Go to this, car lifts up, lowest. Right, so everything is higher except for these two off-road tires. But these ones here, these off-road tire compound, are the lowest ones that you can get in the game. And yeah, so put them on if you want it to be as low as possible. Then all you have to do is just basically lower the PSI on your tires as low as possible, and soften your suspension as much as possible. So that's pretty much it. And then you go into one of my maps, which I've shared many times before. Just when you go into maps, just search my gamertag or look at my gamertag, which is just Dubs and B, same as everything else, and you can find all these low car maps. That gets low. That gets really, really low. That gets really, really... Oh my god, yeah. Wow. Oh my god. Bro, it's like it's on air. Get it? Get it? On air. How am I slipping? Oh my god, man. This thing's so low. What the hell? So if you want to take some sick pics of this thing, or just drive around really low like this, see what it's like with the really low, really like soft suspension. Oh my god. Yeah, this thing gets really, really low. What the hell? That looks nuts. The fitment is like almost spot on as well. Because I'm heavily cambered on the front. It looks like, oh my, it's literally just scraping off the floor. That is mad. Well, that's what it looks like anyway. On this map, where I basically have 2 times the gravity and it's very much lowered. It looks absolutely mental like this. I'm guessing this is gonna be like the thumbnail, right? It looks great. It looks great rolling like this. Yeah, well that's it, everyone. If you want to have some interesting pictures with stuff like this, you can use the map. I mean, I've said this many times before, and you've seen the map before. But that's it for the Lucid Air Sapphire. It's a fun car to drive. I don't think it's OP for anything, but it's an interesting car. I really do wish that we would have had the Rimac engine swap, or even the Porsche Mission R engine swap. I'm pretty sure it's what it's called. It is called the Mission R, isn't it? Yeah, I wish we had one of those engine swaps so we can get this thing to have even more power. I think it would be even more ridiculous. And maybe you could have used it for racing, you know? Maybe if you put just racing tires on it or something like that, and then manage to take it out, a little bit of racing with it. It's heavy. It's heavy if you drive it completely stock. I mean, we've driven, like I said, this thing in the Rivals event, and it's quite heavy, and it's noticeable. But as soon as you do any of the weight reduction, it jumps up into S2, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult because there's a lot of S2 cars that are very, very good. So, you know, I feel like it's not going to be as competitive if you want to do anything like that. But that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more videos like this on the channel, then of course subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.